free Golden Eagles for War Thunder. Download the app in the description below.
Hey guys, welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to a challenge video with two birds and one stone. What are we doing? Well, we're unlocking skins for the Focke 490 A5U12 and skins on the Jagdpanther. What I thought I would do today is do something a little bit different. You see, I've been unlocking these camouflages on German medium and German tank destroyers for the past couple of weeks. This is also what led to me doing so many anti-aircraft vehicles, and trust me, if you think you've seen me play the Ostwind, you haven't. I'll do a bunch of videos over the next week, so if you're entitled to get triggered because I'm trying to point out that SP are actually useful, hold your salt until next week, you can release it then. For now, you may be able to concentrate your salt on German close air support, because I've heard a lot of you think German close air support is bad. And you're probably right, because Germans have less rockets per plane, less bombs per plane, less aircraft they can spam out, and yet the quality of the vehicles they can use is in fact threefold upward. For me, if you're looking for some of the best close air support aircraft in the game, for Germany, look no further from the 5.7 Ta-152C3 loaded with HVAP on the 30mm Mk103, and you can pretty much top-down destroy any tank that's given out. Other than that, you have the Focke 490 F8 with the wonderful 1,000 kilogram bomb, and you can combine that with any Dornier if you wish, with additional HVAP and bombing capabilities. But for the sake of the discussion, we'll have to be using the Focke 490 A5U12, which has two MG151s, two 7-point-something millimeter machine gun cannons, and a whopping load of performance. This is a 6.3 matchmaker that's been up-tiered to 7.0, but we're playing it in a 6.3 tank and a 4.7 plane. Because if I can make this work, then you can make that work at its normal BR. So, first things first, the Jagdpanther. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? I'm playing on Korea, and Korea is one of my... I like the map, I think it's like a 7 out of 10, but it's a bit large. And if you looked at the statistics at the start of the match when I was flashing it on screen, we have a semi-empty game. So what I decided to do is, instead of spawning the Panther, which was my initial tank that I wanted to get skins for, I thought the Jagdpanther is better here. It's a little bit faster, it's better in a hold-down position, and I can really hold Alpha very, very strongly. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using a tank destroyer, rushing straight for the middle cap, because that's where we have the least players. If you look on the map, everybody's gone over for Charlie, we have one player on Bravo, and like 2 or 3 players are going for A. I want to distribute our team's forces among the map. And even before I was able to get into Alpha, somebody had managed to get in here already. So we have this blindfold scenario. When you come into a capture point, somebody else is in it. First things first, I'm going to drive into it, I'm going to cancel the cap, because that's the first thing you got to do. And because my team did the flank correctly, great shout out to the RU-251. It's a vehicle that flanks with, not a vehicle to sit in the back of the map. With the help of the RU-251, we've done little to no work besides just driving in a straight line, and we are already in a capture point, in a German tank destroyer, in an up-tiered match, and we've just been given enough points to pretty much respawn anything we want for the rest of the game. That's how simple it is to play a German tank destroyer. But let's not stop there, because the Jagdpanther is well, it is just my opinion, but this is my playstyle with the tank, and this is why I love it, is because it can be aggressive. Now, the rule of thumb is you have to be looking at your target if you want to kill it. That's the disadvantage of being in a tank destroyer, meaning you have no turret. But the tank is fast, it's maneuverable, it has very, very nice angled frontal armor, and the gun is extremely stable even when on the move. And I've immediately come across another target. It's a American T-34 heavy tank, one of the most annoying tanks to try to kill, and he's just angled his turret towards me. What are we going to do? We're going to push out, make a timing shot into the machine gun port, and go straight through the upper frontal plate. He's dead. Nothing he can do. Second shot, we're going to aim for the lower glacis. It's a known weak spot, and 2 shots was all it took for the T-34 to be eliminated, and I took no damage whatsoever. Now I want to go towards Bravo, because it's the only cap we don't have yet, and a triple capture point means we're going to get a win so much faster when I get shot into the side by an FV4202. Bit of a problem. Side on, using APDS, it goes straight through, kills only one of my crew members, and a fast reaction shot later reduces his tank into a pile of burning rubble. This is why APDS is annoying, but also a blessing. Whenever you're getting shot by a British APDS shell, the best thing you can do, and I know this sounds stupid, is turn your tank sideways. When you turn the tank sideways, you minimize the amount of potential chance for you getting one shot. He has to either hit all of your crew members, or he has to hit your ammo rack. And in most cases, players don't know where German ammo racks are located, and because I'm only using 17 shells, I've only got one ammo rack on one of the sides. The chances of somebody guessing where that ammo rack is will take an excess of maybe 3 to 4 shots, and that's why survivability is an important factor. Now, obviously, if I'm turning my side towards the enemy tank, I can't kill them, but they can't kill me. Effectively, all you're doing is increasing the amount of damage that you've received because you're maximizing the amount of shots the enemy has to take. And I'm about to start tanking shots from an M41 Walker Bulldog who's sitting somewhere down behind me on the road. His first shot goes into my cannon breech and takes out 2 additional crew members. Now, I have 2 crew members left, meaning a well-placed shot into the driver or the gunner will kill me. But he goes for the engine deck. That's now 2 shots. I take the fire out, he goes for a 3rd shot, and again hits the engine deck. That means that's 3 shots I've just tanked. Now, the next one's going to kill me. If I get set on fire one more time, if he hits my gunner, hits my driver, those are the 3 weak spots. But if he sets me on fire one more time, and he does, that is a total of 4 shots, I'm dead, but I've just tanked 4 shots from one tank, and he then actually did get taken out by a teammate. And of course you're going to say, well, this is unfortunate because you're dead, he gets a free kill, and there's nothing you can do because you only have 2 fire extinguishers. This entire time when I'm burning, I'm obtaining a tremendous amount of points, and these points transfer into very, very effective spawn points. 5th shot comes in. 6th shot finishes me off. That was 6 shots that the Walker Bulldog required. 6 shots before he could effectively take me out. And look at the amount of spawn points I have. I have 1,250 spawn points, and the plane cost me a measly 480. I could spawn this plane in 3 times for the price of 6 shots, a capture point, and 2 kills on an FV4202 and a T-34. And if you thought that the match was fun up until this point, you haven't seen the best bit yet. Now, the Focke-490 A5U12 is a recently changed aircraft in the sense that I believe they removed 2 of the machine guns it had. It used to have 4, it now has 2. They flipped around some of the Focke configurations. They added one of the new ones and they changed the designations of the old ones. I think this one used to be called the A5U2 and now it's the A5U12, and the A5U2 is a newly added one that's technically old. I know, a conglomerate and a confusion in itself, but not a problem. The trick behind one is that I don't have a lot of firepower. What I do have is I have precision. These guns are mounted in the nose, they're going to be very, very accurate and very deadly against any kind of open-top vehicles. And those are precisely the vehicles that the enemy has now started to spawn in. The T-34, the FV4202, the things that are respawning now is mainly SPA, because there's nothing else they can spawn in. And because they're playing SPA in a tank destroyer role instead of an anti-aircraft role, they're completely oblivious from the fact that we're actually strafing them. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I figured out it was easier to do. I like flying Focke-Wulfs in air battles, and I was trying to get kills to unlock the camouflages. However, my issue with air battles at the moment is that you have to side climb, then you have enemies who get, air spawns like P-47s, and then at the end of the day you have bomber spam and AAA protection everywhere, and I don't enjoy that. So I've kind of concluded that playing air battles wasn't my, 2 cents, so instead I'm trying to get kills here. And for every single SPA that I strafe, I get a kill. You see, an SPA kill in ground battles is equivalent to an air kill in air battles. Shooting down a B-17 that's climbing to 7k is the same as strafing an M56 on the ground. And I think everybody can guess which one's easier to do. So from the effective range of trying to get about 150 kills in the Focke-490 A5U12 to unlock the additional camouflages, well, there's only really one fast way to do it, and that's to play in ground battles and strafe people who are playing vehicles that don't really belong into that tier. If the enemy had respawned in maybe the M42 Duster, and even in that case, they wouldn't have much protection. German SPA, in this sense, are so much stronger. The Wirbelwind, the Ostwind, if we have to mention the Kugelblitz at this BR and the Coelian, those two are insanely hard to kill without using rockets or bombs. And we don't have any rockets or bombs, we don't need them. What we've got is the power of the Focke-Wulf. And now I'm going to engage 2 targets, a Bearcat and a Typhoon Mark 1B. My first target engage is the Bearcat because he's the strongest one, he's the one with the most altitude. Keep in mind, I have no oil in my radiator. And for those of you who want to know how to fly Focke-Wulfs, here's a quick guide. Flaps, throttle, and aileron rolls. The Typhoon comes in, I reverse him, I control my flaps to a full landing one, revert them just before the end, and boom, I'm on his 6. Takes a little bit of work, takes minimum amount of skill, and just like that, the Typhoon's been eliminated before doing any damage to either me, my teammates in the sky, or my teammates on the ground. And the Bearcat? Well, the Bearcat just ends up getting himself baited in a low altitude turn, couldn't pull out, and I also get the kill for it because of damage than before. 2 kills, 3 strafes, 8 total strafes on the actual ground targets, and the match is 100% over. This match took approximately 10 minutes to complete, it took approximately 0 amount of effort, it was a blast to play, it was an up tier, and we managed to do all of that with 2 vehicles. A Yak Panther at 6.3, a tank destroyer, and a fighter from 4.7. So the next match that you have when the enemy is just ruffle stomping you in P-47s with their amazing H-fire rockets and bombs, the next time you get seal clubbed by Spitfires using the RP-3 rockets, how about you dust off some of the lower tiered BFR-9s, maybe a Focke-Wulf, dash on a few gun pods, maybe obtain even a bomb upgrade, and go after them. Because trust me, I've never had so much of a blast flying these fighters in ground forces, and if anything is to be said, if you want a good 1v1 duel, this is where you'll find it. Whilst air battles are a game mode that I do still recommend because of RP gain, because it is higher, I think if you want a proper air-to-air experience, this is where German's fighters shine the most. Anyway, that's it from me. I do have a couple of additional matches with the Focke-Wulf 90A5 U12 in the conjunction with Yak Panther, so if you do want to see a part 2 or a part 3 of this, do let me know, and I'll get a video out as soon as possible. As for next week, a lot of SPA. That's all I can tell you.